Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Manuela Marcheggiani from Isomers Skincare. If you didn't know, I'm a cosmetic chemist with over 35 years experience formulating skincare. I'm in my 60s. I know a thing or two about skincare ingredients and formulations and how the skin ages and changes. So there's a lot of good learning here on the Isomers channel. So we're really happy to have you here. So today what we're going to do is we're going to be ranking ingredients for acne. We're going to take acne ingredients and categorize them in our tier system. So this tier system goes from F, which is like absolutely horrible, to up to S, which is what we like to call your new holy grail. And we're going to place these ingredients in the corresponding categories or rankings in order to bring you more insight and information on how to deal with or treat acne and problematic skin. So let's begin. Alpha hydroxy acids, you're going to have, that alpha hydroxy acid is like an umbrella term, the AHAs, and you break them down, you can identify, and we're going to get into more detail. You've got the glycolic, you have the lactic, but then you have the mandelic, right? You've got other acids that you can go to that are AHA acids. AHA means that it's going to be more of a surface acid. This is going to help with exfoliation. You can get aggressive or gentle exfoliation. This is very good for your skin. This is very good to keep the filter of your skin on the surface clean. It's going to help with the texture on the surface as well, right? But it doesn't necessarily, it's going to work on mild acne, and it's very good for blackheads, right? Or it's going to very good for even closed comedones. Anything that's on the surface that you need to kind of open up a little bit, the AHA can help on the surface. I like marrying my AHAs together with a BHA. I like that combination because you're dealing with two different chemistries, the oil and the water kind of thing. And that's really important to get a good balance of the skin. And that's really important to get a thorough treatment of your acne. So that's something to keep in mind. Not all AHAs are equal. They're a category because it addresses the skin in a certain way. But you can have different levels of activity, like between glycolic, lactic, mandelic. That's going to be what you're going to pick from. And we're going to talk a little bit more about those within the rankings. The next ingredient is azelaic acid. Azelaic acid, this is a really great ingredient. This is dose dependent. So when you have a low dose azelaic acid, 1 or 2%, this is really good for your skin. It helps with acne, inflammation, redness. It's good for sensitive skin, okay? I like azelaic. I like to call it the dermatologist's secret. I like to use azelaic acid in a higher concentration. When azelaic acid is by prescription at 15% or higher, it's used to treat melasma, but it's also used to treat cystic acne and post-acne marks. So this is an ingredient that you should incorporate into your skincare routine. It's an important ingredient. Also very good for sensitive skin. It is dose dependent. You can use this as a spot treatment as well, periodically. Something, like I said, the dermatologist's secret, azelaic acid. So that goes into A, incorporate this into your routine as soon as possible. You've got a lot of flexibility with that, the azelaic too, as a spot treatment, as a deeper treatment, especially for things that are underneath the skin, that cystic acne and the post-acne marks. The next ingredient is aloe vera. So aloe vera is relatively decent ingredient. This is an ingredient, well, okay. When you hear about aloe vera, so you've got the aloe plant and they're utilizing aloe vera. When you take the aloe plant, if you get sunburn or any kind of irritation on your skin, they'll tell you, take an aloe leaf, take the pulp out of that leaf and apply it. The reality is that is mostly water, it's like 99% water. The other things in there are soothing, calming properties. There are some nourishing elements to it. If you eat aloe, it's a laxative. It has a lot of play to it. But remember, when you're in a plant form, the actives within the plant, especially one with a very high water content, is not very strong. So what we usually do in formulation is we get an aloe concentrate. So what they do is they freeze dry the aloe, and they amplify the positive benefits of the aloe. So aloe, it's a decent ingredient. This will go into the B category. It's more calming and soothing. It's gentle, but it's not a miracle worker. Benzoyl peroxide is really good. Benzoyl peroxide, again, effective, well studied. This is going to help with cleaning up the skin. This is going to help with the exfoliation of the skin. This helps with oil on the skin as well. I like benzoyl peroxide in cleansers. I like benzoyl peroxide as leave-in and spot treatment. Benzoyl peroxide is holy grail of skincare for acne. This will change your life. BHAs, benzoyl peroxide, absolutely, because they do have the ability to get into that follicle, target the skin. This is why they get such a high ranking in skincare. Okay, so that was glycolic acid. Glycolic acid is an AHA. Glycolic acid is considered, to me, incorporate this into your skincare routine. You want to have some exfoliation. Now, this is a surface exfoliation. So we talked about the BHA earlier, and that's why it ranks higher. It's going to go into the pore, into the follicle, but the AHA will be on top. Why do we want this? We want this for the blackheads. We want this for the exfoliation. We want this for anything on the surface to help exfoliate, retexturize the skin. It's going to help with that cell turnover. It's going to help with mild acne as well. I find too that it kind of resets your skin when you have glycolic acid. You've got a lot of effect with glycolic acid. It's a very good ingredient. You will find that your skin does get used to glycolic acid. So you will find that in the beginning when you're using it, you'll get a lot of exfoliation. May get even a little bit of dryness in the first few days. And then you'll find that your skin builds up a tolerance with glycolic acid. So what I like to do is, so you've got a couple of options with glycolic acid. What you can do is you can then move yourself into a higher concentration or a lower pH glycolic acid when your skin gets used to it, or you can cycle on and off. So you could actually give your skin a couple of weeks break and then start using it again so that you don't have to always change formulations, right? Because I find too that when I formulate, when we are increasing the concentration of the glycolic acid, we buffer the pH so that it is very friendly for your skin. That's why I prefer just leaving the glycolic at a mid-range concentration and then allowing you to cycle on and off. But this is a good ingredient, and this is something that you would want to incorporate into your skincare routine. You want to incorporate this either, again, within your cleanser. Also very good to use it as a leave-on. Glycolic acid is also very good to help reset the acidity of the skin. And studies are also showing that for some forms of vitamin C, the L-ascorbic acid, you need more of an acidic environment. So the glycolic acid first, then your vitamin C second, seems to work better for your vitamin C as well. So that's just food for thought. When you're thinking about your skin, when you're thinking about you want to calm mild acne, you also want to work a little bit on pigmentation. That's a good little trick. The next ingredient is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, this is great for hydration. Hyaluronic acid is a moisture binding ingredient. It brings about 1,000 times its weight in hydration for the skin. This surprisingly is very good for acne, but it's not a primary acne ingredient. Let me explain. It's good for acne because a lot of times when you have acne, you have a lot of sebum on the skin. So you've got more oil, not enough water, right? So the hyaluronic is going to bring more moisture, more water, hydration into that skin. So there's a bit more of a balance to their skin. That's very good. So it kind of helps to plump up the skin and balance with that sebum element. The other thing is hyaluronic is actually what they call a postbiotic. So in essence, it could be a food source for bacteria that live in your microbiome on your skin, which is very important because you want to feed your microbiome properly because you want to have a good, healthy microbiome, a nice balance between the good and bad bacteria, because it helps to regulate the sebum. and it helps to control breakout. So although it's not a direct acne treatment, it is an environmental element. So it's good for hydration. It is good alongside other actives. So it also will help buffer, if you will, some of the drying effects, for example, of a benzoyl peroxide or a beta hydroxy acid. So because of that, I will put hyaluronate next to the other moisturizer there, the aloe. I'll put that into the D. Yeah, I think I'll put that there. Relatively B, relatively decent. The next one is lactic acid. Lactic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid as well. Lactic acid is really interesting because it is going to help with the exfoliation. People don't use lactic acid. I believe they don't use it enough. Lactic acid is one of those exfoliants. It's good for acne, but it's good for hydration, which is kind of like some of the crazy things that happen with your skin when you're trying to dry your skin out because of the oil production and the sebum that leads to acne. But at the same time, you want to have the softening and soothing. So you need to kind of balance this. Lactic acid is one of those charming ingredients. You want to put this into your skincare routine as soon as possible. It's one of my acids of choice. Lactic acid is naturally occurring in our skin. It helps with the softening, helps with the soothing, helps with the exfoliation. And I think it has such a high tolerance level for most people. You can use lactic acid in the winter, in the summer. It's got a lot of applications. Formulators I love lactic acid. Gentle AHA, hydration with exfoliation, very good for sensitive skin as well. You can play really well with lactic acids. It's a good one. Salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. So salicylic acid is also known as a beta hydroxy acid. Now, the salicylic acid to me would be like epitome. It is for acne. Why? Because when you have acne, your acne exists in your skin, not on your skin. Like you can see your acne on your skin, but its root, its core is in your skin. So you want ingredients that go into the follicle. And one of those ingredients, very few do that. Most are surface ingredients. The ones that do, we will talk about. We will point them out. We will mention them. And salicylic acid is one of them. So it's going to go into that follicle. It's going to help with the exfoliation within the follicle. It also helps to liquefy or dissolve or break down the oil or the sebum within the pore. This is very important with acne. Breaking this down. It's like, when you're cooking at home, right? And say you have a lot of, oil or something on your pan. You can't just rinse it with water. You need to use a certain dish detergent to break up the oil. Like Dawn, I don't want to be plugging product here, but Dawn detergent really breaks up oil really well on your dishes and everything. It gets rid of all the oiliness and any residue because it really breaks it down. It's got that ability to break it down. So when you take that kind of concept into your skin, you've got sebum. Sebum is oily and sticky. Not all the ingredients, like glycolic acid, doesn't break it down. Glycolic acid works on a different component of the cell or of the skin. Salicylic acid, the BHA, works on that sebum itself and dissolves and it breaks it down. I like to say it helps to liquefy it. This is important because as it breaks it down and liquefies it, then it can travel out of the pore, out of the follicle better. It's become smaller, it travels out better. Therefore, it cleans out of your skin better. So salicylic acid, well-known exfoliant, unclogs pores because of this liquefying effect. Very important. So it's going to take away a lot of the food for the bad bacteria. So salicylic acid is holy grail territory, and that goes there. Ta-da! It's interesting because people deal with acne pretty much their entire life. We always think that we're going to get rid of acne, or when you're your teenager, you're like, oh yes, one day I will never have acne again. Well, I can tell you at 61, I still get breakouts. I had really horrific acne as a teenager, even before a preteen. My skin was horrible. I remember being in was it grade 7? Yeah, it was grade 7. grade 7. They didn't even want me in the school class picture because my skin was so bad. I kept thinking that as my body changed and my hormones changed, the food source for the acne would change. Therefore, the acne would change and go away. Eventually, I would have dry skin. It would starve itself out of there. But it doesn't, it's really not that simple. It's really not that linear. So being Mediterranean, you know, I'm Italian, so I naturally have combination skin or oily prone skin, T-zone panel skin, Mediterranean skin. Therefore, I always tend to have that ability to get oily skin and ability to have acne. So it's something that I've learned to, no, you don't embrace it. You try to understand it and know that there are many, many different things that you have to do at different times. So it's good to understand where it lives, what level it's in your skin, what ingredients work on the top to clean it out, to make, you know, some of the redness or the blackheads go away, what dissolves it on the inside, what takes care of it when it's underneath the skin to be, you know, cystic, what deals with the marks, like all of these things. So it's never going to be one ingredient. You're going to find that different things will work for you at different times of your life. So this kind of ranking is very interesting and fun because it's able to give you more insight. As a cosmetic chemist, this is how I look at the ingredients, and I'm hoping that this helps you look at them too and understand why some have more value than others, but none of them are throwaway ingredients. All of them will have a place at a certain time in your life with your skin. Sulfur. I think it's very poetic that we're going to be dealing with sulfur now because sulfur is a really great ingredient. Sulfur does a lot of good things for your skin. It's going to clean it up. It's going to be very effective. It's going to detoxify. It works, I think, too, as an antibacterial. But here's the thing, it stinks. It is not good in modern formulations. Nobody really wants to introduce sulfur. Sulfur is like that rotten egg smell, you know? I remember my mom and dad are from central northern Italy. Gubbio, it's the town, the city is called Gubbio. And so between Gubbio and Petalunga, from my mom's town and my dad's city, it's mountains, right? And these mountains are natural sources for water and things. And one of the veins in that mountain between Gubbio and Pietralunga is a sulfur water. And I remember as a little girl, my grandmother sending me down to the mountain area with bottles to get this sulfur water, and it stunk. It was really, really bad, right? Because you could smell the sulfur. But they used to have us drink that water every day, and used to have to get it fresh every day in hopes of keeping first regular, our body regular, our system regular, nice and clean as a whistle, but also helping with our skin because sulfur has a lot of benefits to it. So I just thought that was a cute little antidote. But anyways, sulfur, it is effective, but I would have to put it as, because of the fact that it's not cosmetically pleasing, you're not going to want to use it. Even though it's good, you will not be popular amongst your friends. You may not even want to stand next to yourself with the sulfur. So I'm going to have to put this as a C. C is all around mediocre. So I know that's a harsh place to put the sulfur, but there are things that are going to be better for you than the sulfur. And once in a while, maybe you want to try sulfur just to see if it's going to be a little bit different. Sometimes the variety is helpful. I just find the sulfur nostalgic for me because I still remember those early mornings because you were supposed to drink the sulfur water on an empty stomach. So you had to walk like 2 kilometers to get the water and then bring it back home. And then it's like, it was a chore because they used to make me walk it. But anyways, that's a good story. It's good to remember. Tea tree is very interesting because we use tea tree a lot at Isomers Laboratories. When I was 40, so that's like 21 years ago, I created a formulation that was for acne and aging, right? So the formula was a cleanser. That was, we called it the daily exfoliating cleanser with tea tree. I put the Melaleuca in there because it had antibacterial elements to it. Very, very good for acne. It really helps with the skin. So I like it a lot. The problem with the tea tree can be sensitizing. It is antibacterial, it is anti-inflammatory. I love the way it smells. A lot of people don't. There is deodorized versions of tea tree. I'm not a big fan of masking agents in skincare. I like to leave things pretty much as they are. But the tea tree, I would put this one. It is a good one though. It's a very good spot treatment. And anything that works on the bacteria, but also on the redness is A-okay with me. So that is going to be an A. Incorporate into your beauty routine, but be mindful of it. If you find you're very enthusiastic and you incorporate it too much, it could sensitize your skin. So you want to use your tea tree mindfully, deliberately. You have to be very aware. And, you know, a lot of times when we're thinking about a skincare routine, another hint I want to give you is think of your skincare routine in a 24-hour window, not just AM and PM routine. Some ingredients, it's good enough just to use them once a day, once every 24 hours. You don't have to use them twice a day. That's for me, something like a retinoid, a tea tree, you know, those are ingredients, a BHA, those can be once a day, once every 24 hours or 48 hours. When I started formulating, we were trying to make a formula for the acne marks. And we wanted to use something that was not hydroquinone or alpha-arbutin. So we went in and looked at Kojic acid and licorice root. And at the time when Darius and I started doing this, almost 40 years ago, 35 years ago, Kojic acid was used more for food industry than skincare. That's interesting, right? And we were thinking, like, we were kind of ahead of our curve, right? But we were looking at it as scientists as this has this ability. It just wasn't used in mainstream skincare as much back then. But today, we are starting to use Kojic acid a lot more because people do have, I guess the information is out there more. There's more pigmentation issues. There's more marks to the skin. We're doing more research. And as we learn more, we're getting better at being formulators. We're getting better with our ingredients. So Kojic acid is one that I'm going to put into, it's good. I like Kojic acid, but it is not for acne. It's for post-acne marks and it's for pigmentation. So it goes into the B category. It has a strong presence for me where you want to forget about that, where you had acne. Like you get the acne, now you've gotten rid of acne, now you have acne marks. You want those gone too, right? Because you want to end up with the clear skin. You want evenness in skin. Kojic acid is really good. Kojic acid is gentle. Kojic acid is something that I like to use it with licorice root. I like to use Kojic acid for hyperpigmentation and help to clean up the skin and brighten the skin. So it's a really good ingredient, and that will be decent for the for acne, excellent for pigmentation. All right, so tretinoin. Tretinoin is the best. We're not even going to play with this one. This is the holy grail. Tretinoin, powerful retinoid, acne, and aging. So this is something that really has opened up the entire possibility of having controlled skin. Tretinoin has that ability. Tretinoin is a very powerful retinoid. It is the retinoic acid version. So we have retinoids that are not so aggressive, right? There are a few conversions down. But when you're dealing with tretinoin, that is retinoic acid. You want to use a low dose. You want to use it, you know, at nighttime. This is very effective acne treatment. It's also very good collagen rebuilding treatment. So what's really good about it for acne as well is that when you have acne, so when you're younger and you have acne, it's going to help deal with the acne. It's got the antibacterial element. It's going to help with the exfoliation, renews the skin. But because it also stimulates the collagen, the damage that the acne has caused can be mitigated by the tretinoin. That is one of the really good things about tretinoin. So especially when you start younger, if you're able to utilize this ingredient in your skin and you've had acne and maybe you've had damage to your skin, maybe you've picked it, maybe you've overprocessed it, maybe something has happened and you have damage in your skin, the tretinoin can give you a second chance, especially at the younger age. When you're older, the tretinoin is also very good because it's going to work on the collagen. It's going to work on, I think it works by it's insulting. So it's kind of insults the skin in a way that causes enough trauma to stimulate more collagen repair. It triggers more fibroblasts and reticulin into the skin, therefore creating more collagen, creating more density. So you're going to find that your skin is less wrinkled, smoother, overall better textured. So we're going to put this guy all the way up to the to the S, to the power of the S. Okay, this next ingredient in this pretty bottle is niacinamide. Niacinamide is great. We use niacinamide a lot. A lot of people are trying to say, and I've seen a lot of dermatologists talk about niacinamide, that it's like, it's overhyped. People talk about it too much. They've blown it out of proportion. It's not as great as people pretend it to be, or the, social media pretends it to be. So here's the deal with niacinamide. Niacinamide is a very good ingredient. It's a very versatile ingredient. It is an ingredient that you can utilize in your formulations. It is something that you can use on so many different skin types at so many different times. It doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, because it has a soothing and calming benefit to it. It helps regulate the sebum. This is going to be really good for skin that has a lot of oil and you want oil control. It's really good for people who have breakouts and you want to keep the redness down and the breakout under control. If you've noticed that your pores fill up with sebum and blackheads, niacinamide is where you go. So niacinamide, where does niacinamide go? Niacinamide is a holy grail skin care ingredient. I will put it up because it will change your life, because it does allow you to have comfort. It allows you to have oil control. It's the anti-redness, anti-inflammation. These are all important things. When you take away the inflammation, like, that's the number one thing you always have to take care of first on your skin, is the inflammation before anything else. Because when your skin is under stress, it can't do any of the other things that it needs to do. Your skin is the largest organ of the body. And if it's under stress, it's fighting, right? It's not able, this inflammation is its reaction to what's going on. So when you calm the skin down, then you can start working on the acne. You can start working on the breakout. You can start working on the environment. So because of that factor, niacinamide is an S. Green tea extract is good because, okay, so the final ingredient is green tea extract. Green tea extract, and I was thinking about the green tea extract because I'd like to always remind myself what is in green tea. So green tea has a lot of polyphenols. It's an antioxidant. It also has some caffeine in here, right? These elements are very good for the skin. They actually help fortify the skin. The polyphenols are very good for the skin. Green tea extract may not necessarily target acne, but it targets environment. And we talked just a little bit a while ago about the environment and about the inflammation and the irritation. So this is a very good ingredient, co-ingredient to work with others. I would take green tea and I would see, it's no less than, the aloe, or the hyaluronate. The green tea can go in there. The green tea with its polyphenols, with its antioxidants, it's very soothing. The antioxidants, remember, you're fighting the free radical damage. That's always a part of the excitement around the skin's environment that is causing an activity that could cause stress, the free radicals. So having an antioxidant like the green tea, very, very good. Making sure that it's a good source, that you have the right properties within it, it's really good. Combining it, like combining some, so that goes into the B category. That is relatively decent. That's where I'm going to put it. And I think that's my pairings. I don't have any in the D and the F categories because I think that they all had a role to play in your skincare routine. Hope you enjoyed this session of tiering, putting these ingredients in order to treat acne. I really enjoy explaining the ingredients, talking about where I would put them, a little bit more insights. I'm hoping that through this, you're going to have more understanding of the ingredients and how you can incorporate them into your skincare routine. So because of that, we're very education-based. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I would really love to hear your questions and comments. If there is another area you want me to rank or discuss, please Drop your comments below. We want to hear from you. We want you to participate. This is your community. We're going to build this together. This should be an education source. This is an area where we can explore different things about the skin. Doesn't matter what age or stage you're in. There's something going on, and there's some way we can help you at Isomers Laboratories. And as a cosmetic chemist, I have been through a lot, from, aging, acne, menopause, hormonal changes, childbirth, sun damage. It's all happened. And there are things you can do, and it's never too late, but it's all about education and information. So welcome to our channel. Welcome to the community. I really want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to talking to you next time.